super interesting developments happening in silver. There are a couple of factors you need to know to understand the price moves that are gonna happen in silver in 2025 and why silver has such an explosive upside this year. Also, one metal that nobody's paying attention to that's off to a great start in 2025 and could be setting up for a big move. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day, your show for swing trading ideas for the coming days, weeks, and month. Silver had a fantastic year 2024, but then the end of the year was really disappointing with a big sell-off that pushed silver under $30 an ounce, and people didn't understand why that was happening. Well, in today's video, I will show you the reasons behind it, explain to you what's really going on in the silver market, and then we're gonna look at the situation right now and where to go. Let's jump right into the charts. So this is the silver price. Here we go. This is what it looks like for 2024. As you can see, we had a great year. And everything looked fine until we hit this patch right here. As you can see, we had a good start in December, and then we started to sell off, right? Big time. And by mid-December, we had a rally and then another nasty sell-off that pushed silver below $30 an ounce. And people didn't understand what was going on. And they're asking, why is this happening? This doesn't make any sense. Because usually at the end of the year, if you have a strong asset class or a strong stock, it tends to go up because people are buying the winners. Why is silver down if it had a great year? And let me show you the reason that not many people are talking about. And that is, we go to the yearly chart. Not many people are looking at the yearly chart of silver, but they should have, because then they would have realized the following. As you can see, this goes all the way back to the 70s, 1970s. The all-time high on a close, right? Not during the year. As you can see, we had massive wicks here and here and here. But on a close, the all-time high is around 30.78. And what happened is that institutions that are massively short in silver pushed the silver price down at the end of the year to make sure that it did not close on the yearly, on the 12-month chart, above this all-time high, basically giving silver an all-time high close, which means it would have gone all through the media. Silver is a smaller market than gold, so retail investors can really move the silver price. If you were in the market in, I think 2021, when the Wall Street Bets crowd was able to push up the silver price and cause a massive short squeeze. Because of this is the reason why silver went down at the end of the year. It had nothing to do with fundamentals. It had nothing to do with the charts. All it had to do was this all-time high on a monthly. When I say it has nothing to do with the charts, I mean nothing to do with the charts of 2024. So this is the reason why. And as you can see, this is a big level. And right now, we are actually above it. Because right now, we are in 2025. And the shorts don't care. All they cared about is, you see this move up here, right? Where silver went back up after this big nasty sell-off. And the shorts were freaking out. And you need to understand that we right now have massive short positions in the market. And it's a combination of institutions shorting silver, which was a terrible idea, obviously, but mostly they're doing it because there's such a high industrial demand for silver. As you know, we have a supply and demand deficit. And it is hard for companies to get the required physical silver. So they clearly, if you know how Wall Street works, then you know they clearly have deals with certain institutions that say, can you make sure that the prices don't get away from us? And that's what's happening. So by the end of December, right? Look at this. This is December 26th here. We're at $30.40 for silver. We're close to getting to this new all-time high on the yearly close. And then the institutions came in and they pushed the silver price down in 3 days at the end of the year. That is obviously what happened here. So now we see this up move that has happened. This is basically just a bounce back because the institutions that shorted silver to push it down now stepped away and said, it's the beginning of the year. We're not required to hold these short positions anymore because that is risky for the institutions. And obviously the silver price shot up. Now we reached this resistance zone, which is not major, obviously, but it's there. As you can see, the price a lot of times is fighting with it in 2024. And you see again, long wicks here, right? The shorts are still trying to control the silver price, but we are making higher lows. And this will be really, really interesting for silver. We are getting closer to the very, very end of this triangle formation, of this upsloping trend that started 2024, and then in the fall of 2024 we have this downtrend. The tippy top of it, will reach it by the end of this month. So that means there's a major decision coming for the silver price at the end of the month. Which direction will it go? It will be very, very hard to say. A lot of it will have to do with the dollar. If the dollar weakens, then that'll push up gold, that'll push up silver, and that'll give it the strength because we have a major resistance zone right here. If we zoom out so you understand this, how big this is, you see this yellow resistance zone. I actually have to get to the weekly to show you this. Here we go. And as you can see, this goes all the way back to 2011. Right? And it basically was the last line of defense to hold the silver price in a bear market in 2020 and 2021 right here. And as I've always said, the party in silver starts once we break this zone. But the silver price has not been able to do this. The shorts have it tried to repeatedly, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, right? Bull trap, 5th time, 5 times last year. The shorts were able to keep silver below this zone. That shows you how important this zone is. This is the all-deciding zone. Then we have this downtrend, which is not super strong, but it's there and it's pretty strong. And we also have a bunch of moving averages. For example, this is the 100-day moving average, and as you can see, we're right at it right now. So silver has a lot of resistance to power through. We don't need to buy this right now. but we do know that a major decision is coming. And if we, by the end of the month, break above this downtrend and the 100 and this, I would say, lower level resistance zone, we'll have it in the bag, the shorts are going to start to get cold feet. And this is really the story on silver in the first quarter of 2025. It's also one of the reasons why I'm so bullish on silver outperforming gold. We have this short squeeze. And at some point, they will just give up because overall, they are fighting a losing battle, right? Look at the silver price. It's trending up clearly. They know they cannot hold this line forever. So it's really a question of when is it's like OPEC in oil, right? When is the first one of these big short selling institutions breaking out of the defense position, right? The Roman turtle position, and starts covering, and then everybody's going to run for the exits. So keep a close eye on silver. We're going to have a big directional move coming up at the end of the month at the latest. Now, a metal real quick that I want to show you that nobody's talking about right now that looks really interesting. Copper. Nobody's talking about copper. But look at this start of the year from copper. Just shot out of a cannon. And now copper is reaching an important resistance zone plus the 100. If copper is able to jump above this and hold, which it wasn't able to do in December, then this industrial metal that nobody's talking about, that nobody's invested in because everybody is worried about China and slowdown in the economies and the recession in Europe, copper could really set up for a rally. So put this on your watch list. As you can see, the short-term to medium-term downtrend, depending on how you want to call it, starting in October, that one is broken already. That one is history. Now we're talking 100-day resistance zone. If we go through this, copper, if it gets into rally mode, look at what happened at the beginning of the year. It can really run, right? Look what happened at the beginning of 2024. Copper was fighting with this blue zone right here that was a resistance zone back then. Now it's support, and it held support here. But back in 2023, it was resistance, right? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, not 100%, but close enough for government work. 5 times, 6 times, right? 7 times in like pretty much a year. It tried to break, it failed, then it broke through. And once it broke through, I mean, it partied, it went up hard. So these are the type of moves that we can expect in copper because nobody is invested in copper right now. If we break this resistance zone, especially if we break this downtrend. Same thing as with silver. Do you need to rush out and buy all the silver right now? No. But you need to have your strategy in place right now because things could happen really quickly. With copper, it's going to be a little bit further down the road. With copper, the tippy top of the triangle formation is in May. But this also means it's going to be a very, very interesting first half of the year for the metals. A lot of decisions going to be made for the directions of the metals in the first and the second quarter. And these are massive directions for the next year, maybe even years. It looks really, really interesting. We want to get ready. We want to be positioned in it. With silver, not only physical silver, also look at the silver producers and the silver miners, Remember, there are not that many quality silver producers out there, so that means it's a crowded trade, which is great because a crowded trade means a lot of money flowing into few options. Remember what happened with the chip stocks in the beginning of the AI boom? It was all flowing into Nvidia because that was pretty much the only game in town when you wanted to invest in AI chips. And then the other chips companies obviously followed suit and tried to develop their own chips. But this is kind of what we have with the silver producers, which is a smaller market than the gold producers when the silver price starts to rally. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.